Good morning, Mr. Goodrich.
Morning, Your Honor.
Were you all set in the breakout room?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Hoffman, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sarah Ann Hoffman, file number 22-02721FY, council appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of the people.
And Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office, here to represent Ms. Hoffman.
Thank you. And Ms. Hoffman, today was the date that was set for a probable cause conference. Your preliminary examination is scheduled before me next week, October 27th at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Goodrich, are we continuing to exam?
Yes, we are.
Very good. I'll note that here in the file. Any additional matters we need to address while we're here today?
Your Honor, Ms. Hoffman would like to address bond in her matter.
Okay. You can
Okay,
proceed.
well, first of all, she has two matters. One of them, it has a piece, obviously there's this case. Then she has another file that has two counts of larceny, 1,000 to 20,000, that have a PCC with you next week. So it's 1 week behind, even though it has an older case number for some reason. But Ms. Hoffman at this point has been in jail for 12 days. She has two 10%, 5,000, 10% bonds on each of these files. I know she had been working with DHS to try to get her power back on at her house, and she's very concerned about this gap and losing contact with them. She's concerned she's going to lose her job and her house if she stays in jail much longer. So these are both, all four counts in these matters are all nonviolent offenses. So I would ask the court to consider converting each of these files into a 5,000 PR bond, or at least today's, since the other files I know technically not in front of you.
Is there anything else for me?
She does also have two traffic matters that are scheduled in front of you on Halloween.
I'm trying to see if she has a history of failure to appear.
I know she had a failure to appear on the traffic matters,
How many times?
one in May.
Not billed on either of the others. The prosecution want to respond to the motion.
Your Honor, we just leave it to the discretion of the court.
Decisions in traffic. I'll amend the bond to 5,000 personal recognizance on this file. You said the one next week has the same bond?
Yes.
Okay, I'll amend it to 5,000 personal recognizance on both files.
Thank you.
Ms. Hoffman, you need to make sure you appear to all of your court dates, okay?
I promise you I will. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Any additional matters for the record?
Nope.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're all set. If you can get the other file, I'll note that one as well. Okay. Seeing a lot of officer names on here. See if these people don't have attorneys. Oh, you're all set, Ms. Hoffman.
Thank you.
No problem. PV doesn't have an attorney, is that what's going on? PV? That's oh, it is.
Yeah,
Hi.
Mr. Palmer.
Yes, Judge, Mr. Peavy is mine.
Okay, do we have an appearance in it?
I have it on this one print today. Yeah,
Oh, when was this printed?
probably earlier in the week, but not it.
Why y'all should give me an old, old?
What?
Why would you give me an old, outdated? You don't give it to me, that's why. Why
Well,
would you give me an outdated?
I think I never just.
I mean, stuff
updated
could have been
them.
moved. People get attorneys, and you think I need the old one? And y'all need the updated one, huh? Let me,
Well, we
here,
can
y'all put this
update
on.
you.
Y'all put this on, 'cause clearly. Okay, so Palmer is on that, who's on Walker?
Judge, I don't believe he's actually been assigned an attorney yet. Mr. Walker's sitting in the hallway and I was going to meet with him once I'm done with Mr. Peavy to see if we could fill out a CAA for him.
Okay, sounds good. Sir, what's your name?
Andreas Peavy.
Okay, you need to speak to Mr. Palmer.
I do, Judge, please.
Put you in room 1.
Thank you.
Actually, I need to put you in room 2, because I think the jail's already in room 1 and I need to remove them. Let's see. Let's do that.
Hello,
Good morning, what's your name?
Dan Lee Darling.
Okay. Okay, good morning, Mr. Darling. You're represented by Mr. Palmer, and he is currently meeting
Yes.
with another client, and I'll see if he needs to meet with you when he returns, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, Mr. Farmer, are we ready on Mr. Peavy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. On the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Andreas Darrell Peavy, file number is 22-01090, council appearance.
Brian Randall, on behalf of the people.
And thank you, Your Honor. Robert Palmer of the Public Defender's Office on behalf of Mr. Peavy, who appears today by Polycom from the Ingham County Jail.
Today was the date that was set for a probable cause conference. This matter is scheduled for preliminary examination next week, October 27th at 8:30 in the morning. Are we continuing to exam?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we're going to continue to exam. This was I guess I would describe it as a late appointment, at least by my office. And so I have not even received any discovery yet. At this point, I'm unable to make any legal representations to Mr. Peavy regarding the strengths or weaknesses of his case. Certainly, if it appears that this will be a waiver, I will inform the prosecutors prior to the preliminary exam so that they can call off witnesses. But at this time, we're going to leave the matter set for exam. And Your Honor, also, if I might, my client has requested that I address bond.
You can address Ron at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is charged, at least as far as I can tell right now, and there may be other tag-along charges, but as far as I can tell, because I've not received discovery or a copy of the complaint, my client is charged with a count of home invasion in the first degree. I will note that the date of offense is from January of this year. Mr. Peavy has been in custody in Eaton County essentially since this incident. He just got released from Eaton County. He was brought directly to the Lansing Police Department, wherein he was arraigned by the court. My understanding is that Mr. Peavy is a local resident. He's been here in Lansing his entire life. He does have, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I apologize, Judge. That was my office phone going off. Mr. Peavy does have a stable address. He can reside with his grandmother, who is in ailing health. The address, I believe, is the same one on Western Avenue that the court would have access to. My understanding is that Mr. Peavy also has a job lined up at Bridgewater. Which he would like to start working at. His grandmother is in significant ailing health. He is hopeful that he can start working so as to help provide for her. I cannot address at this time, because I've not received any discovery, I cannot address anything regarding the nature of the offenses, but my understanding is my client does not have any failures to appear. He's got longstanding ties to this community. I would ask that the court consider a reduction in bond.
Is he currently on probation or parole?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor. My understanding is that when he completed his Eaton County jail sentence, that was the extent of that sentence. There was no probation to follow. So I do not believe he is on probation or parole. Certainly not on parole. I don't believe he's on probation anywhere else. It's also my understanding that he does not have any other pending matters to the best of my knowledge, although I guess I don't know that for sure, but I can't find any. I'll put it that way.
Okay, but he was on probation at the time of the alleged incident?
I believe that's correct, Judge. I believe he was in probation out in Eaton County.
And the prosecution want to respond?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, we'd ask that bond remain the same due to the nature of this offense, Your Honor. There were two 12-year-olds present in the home when this event occurred, Your Honor, and he was looking for somebody that he has prior DB complaints against and threatening to kill, Your Honor, while these two 12-year-olds were at home. So we'd ask, Your Honor, respectfully ask that bond remain the same, Your Honor.
Bond was set at 100,000 cash surety. This again is a charge of home invasion, first degree felony, maximum penalty being 20 years in prison and or up to $5,000 in fines. I was not the individual that arraigned Mr. Peavy, but my understanding is that he was either on probation or parole at the time. There's some other contributing factors, including a history of threatening the alleged victim or harassing the alleged victim. And this crime involves allegations of violence towards another person. I think the bond was set appropriately and a motion to amend it will be denied. Any additional matters for the record?
That's the paper, Your Honor.
I have nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Peavy. I have Mr. Darling here.
Also mine, Judge.
Okay, did you need to speak to him?
I'm happy to speak to Mr. Darling if you'd like to, but we spoke yesterday. I think we have a game plan going to go forward.
On the record in the matter, the people of the state of Michigan versus Dan Lee Darling, file number 22-02645FY. Council appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of the people.
Thank you, Your Honor. Robert Palmer of the Public Defender's Office on behalf of Mr. Darling, who appears today via Zoom.
Okay, today's the date that was set for probable cause conference. This matter is scheduled for preliminary examination on October 27th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Are we continuing to exam?
At this time, we're going to continue to examine, Your Honor. It's my understanding that the people will be making or will be likely making an offer. And certainly I'll discuss that with Mr. Darling. But at this time, we're going to leave the matter set for exam.
Okay, any additional matters while we're here today?
That's my paper, Your Honor.
Not from the defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you next week, Mr. Darling.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Who just joined from the jail?
Venagas,
What's your name?
Marquise Venagas.
Thank you. Ms. Feigelson's client. Are you filling in for Mr. Feigelson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, did you need to speak to him?
Very briefly, yes.
Okay, I'll put him in room 1. What's your name, sir?
My name is Dan Walker.
Okay, do you have an attorney, sir?
No, no.
Do you apply for it, counsel?
Your Honor, Mr. Palmer said he was gonna talk to him when he was done with everything.
I think Mr. Palmer scooted out. Let's see if we can ask him to come back. Oh, he's in the building, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, are we ready with Mr. Venegas?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Marquise Roland Venegas, file number 21-02941. Council appearance, please.
Brian Ring on behalf of the people.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office, filling in for Steve Feigelson today and representing Mr. Venegas.
Okay, today was the date scheduled for probable cause conference. Preliminary examination is set for next week at 9 o'clock in the morning. Are we proceeding to exam?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Any other matters that we should address today while we're here?
Nothing with the people, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Venegas, we'll see you next week at 9 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
Thank you. I thought he was reading Mr. Palmer.
They didn't see Rob in the holiday either.
Oh,
You might be in a.
Your Honor,
yes.
I'm also handling the Cleveland matter. I don't know if the courts, if you have another matter to handle. Judge Ward is waiting for me on another case. Should I go to hers first, or where are we at here?
Yes. Do you think you can shoot a message to Mr. Palmer? He said he wanted to meet with Mr. Walker and I think he forgot.
He just walked out of this room like 15 seconds ago. So let me see if he just went to talk to him.
Oh, okay, thanks. All right, we been looking, buddy.
I'll check and see if I see him.
Went that way. So your prosecutor, Brian, there is looking, we'll track him down.
Yes, I just.
What's your name, sir?
Xavier Cleveland.
Okay, hang on tight. Your attorney had to run onto Judge Ward's courtroom to address the issue, and he'll be right back, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Yes, I can, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. The case has been basically languishing because there are one or more felony charges that remain against someone that believe arise of the same set of circumstances as this misdemeanor charge. So I guess we're here just to touch base and see, schedule for pre-trial conference. Judge, with the felonies still pending, the city, our offer would just be Mr. Sutherland looking for a leave of time served. Yes. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. You're entitled to have a trial and a jury. Maybe more importantly, you're entitled to be represented by a lawyer. Today, there won't have by a lawyer. You are represented in your felony matters, is that correct? Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. And are you represented by Mr. Mills in the felony matter? Oh, Mr. Booth. Yes, Mr. Booth, Your Honor. Have you talked about this case with Mr. Booth? No, I haven't. You want to proceed today without discussing this with your lawyer? You want to and without discussing the matter with Mr. Booth?
We're on the record in the matter, the people of the state of Michigan. This is Dayon Amari Walker, file number 22-02268, council appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of the people.
And Judge, I guess I can put in appearance, but I don't technically represent Mr. Walker, nor does my office, so I don't know how the court wants to proceed. But Robert Palmer from the Public Defender's Office here with Mr. Walker today to assist him in today's matter, but not officially representing him, if that makes sense.
Okay. Let's see here. Did you request court appointed counsel? See, you just completed the intake today, is that what happened?
No, Judge, I can address this. Apparently what happened, he did request, just to be clear, I don't think Mr. Walker's done anything wrong. He did request court appointed counsel at the time of his arraignment. It appears that an application was submitted. There was a question regarding his income status. It appears that the issue is that Mr. Walker just started a new job and doesn't receive his first paycheck until tomorrow. So he can't verify his income with our office until tomorrow, and our office has not, or has apparently chosen not to appoint until that income is verified. So at this time, Mr. Walker's caught in a bit of a snafu. My recommendation today, Judge, given the preliminary exam is next week, and even if we were to appoint tomorrow, it would take a day or so probably to get discovery and that kind of thing. And I don't know that an attorney could be ready. I don't know anything about the case, so I don't know whether it would be an issue for an attorney to be ready. My recommendation, and I believe Mr. Walker is in agreement with this, is to treat next week's preliminary examination date as a probable cause conference, and then it can be addressed further from there. Or if the court wants to set a preliminary exam date today, but treat next week's as a PCC. I'm just concerned about Mr. Walker being adequately represented, and time is an issue.
Sounds good. I will know. I've noted, you said it in the file, so we'll treat next week as another PCC. We'll address the timeline at that point more appropriately, because we'll know whether or not you're getting approved for the point of counsel or not. The other concern is that when you were arraigned, again, I know nothing that you've done on this, the magistrate that arraigned you failed to click that you're supposed to report to pretrial services. And so I think you might have tried to report to pretrial services, and they contacted us that they didn't have an order from the court. So we've corrected that. So you can now report to pretrial services. Okay, sir?
For what it's worth, Judge, I've got a pretrial services pamphlet here that I'm handing Mr. Walker. It sounds like he already has the number, but just in case he needs it again.
Correct. We got notified that he tried to report and they didn't have anything in the system. So
Got it.
you'll continue to report as you were told during your probation, I'm sorry, during your arraignment while you're out on bond. You have any questions today, Mr. Walker?
And Judge, if I could, I just want to make clear, Mr. Walker, you'll still be required to appear next week, the 27th at 8:30, but that will not be for a preliminary exam. That will be for probable cause conference. And hopefully you'll have it.
And you do have the option, because we're treating it as another probable cause conference. You can appear via Zoom if you know how to operate the features. You have to have video though, okay? All right, so that's information if you want to appear via Zoom. Okay, any additional matters for the record?
Nothing from the people we got. No. Well, I'm not technically the defense, but nothing else from me.
There's no other questions from you, correct? All right, we'll see you next week, sir. Thank you. Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Xavier Cleveland, file number 22-02760. Council appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of people.
And Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office, filling in for Steve Feigelson today.
Today was the date that was set. For preliminary examination. Looks like we also received a 353 violation.
Your Honor, I believe today was set for the probable cause.
I'm sorry,
conference.
probable cause conference, you're correct.
Scare me, Judge.
Just kidding. Probable cause conference. We also have a PA 53 violation. Did you receive a copy of that?
We did receive a copy of the police report on that, and we would ask that that matter be set for the same time as the preliminary exam in this case.
Okay, and Mr. Cleveland, there's an allegation that you violated the terms of your conditional release. That's also called a PA 53 violation. Your attorney's requesting, or Mr. Goodrich is here on behalf of your attorney today. He's requesting that this matter be set for hearing the same date as your preliminary examination. The court will enter a non-guilty plea as relates to the violation at this time. But you should understand, sir, that if the court determines at the time of the hearing that you did in fact violate the terms of your conditional release, your bond can be revoked and you can be sentenced to a term of jail time or a fine for being in contempt of the court's order. Do you understand that?
Actually, I don't understand that.
You don't understand that there's a possible penalty if you're found to be in violation of your bond conditions?
What was I in violation of my bond conditions?
Well, you haven't been determined to be in violation, but there's an allegation which Mr. Goodrich said he spoke to you about. Is that correct?
I don't
I believe
recall.
Mr.
What was,
Feigelson.
Or Mr. Feigelson spoke to you? Did you speak to
Well,
your attorney about an alleged incident that occurred back on October 13th at 513 Hillsdale? The allegation is that the alleged victim received a phone call. from you.
yeah,
Sir,
Well,
don't make
we're-
any statements about that incident, okay? We will have a hearing and we will speak with you as to best how to address that, okay?
So the court has entered a non-guilty plea on your behalf as to that violation as requested by your attorney, and we're gonna set it for a hearing. What I was advising to you that is that the violation of your bond conditions is punishable with a penalty. It's up to 93 days or up to $7,000, $500 in fines for contempt of court if you're found to be in violation, okay?
Okay. And what would be considered me being found in violation of it?
Well, the allegation is that you made a phone call in violation of your bond conditions. And so if we have evidence to support that, then that will be sufficient to determine a violation. But we need evidence to support it. And right now, it's just an allegation.
Okay, and hypothetically speaking, if that phone call did happen before I received I was read my bond conditions, how am I in violation if I didn't know my bond conditions beforehand?
Sir, we will address, Mr. Feigelson will address this with you next week, okay? You've not been found guilty of anything. He will address this and what strategies and what arguments to make at that time, okay?
Correct. And
Okay.
to answer your question, the allegations is that this occurred on October 13, 2022 at 19:53 hours. You were arraigned, it looks like, on the 13th in the morning. So you would have been given your bond conditions at the time of your arraignment. Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're currently scheduled for preliminary examination next week, October 27th at 9:30 in the morning, here in person at the court. And we're gonna set the bond violation hearing for the same time. Are we continuing to exam next week?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so then we will see you next week, sir, for exam and hearing, okay?
Okay.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing to do, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, sir.
Quick question. Could I have a moment with my attorney to talk to him?
Yeah, you'll need to log back
Yes, I
in,
will do that.
and he'll be there shortly, okay?
Okay, so should I end the phone call and then have someone help me?
No,
log back
stay
in?
there. You should stay
Okay.
there. He's gonna log into Zoom, and then I'll put you in a private meeting room.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, Midland Credit Management. Don't have anybody else in there.
Somebody else.
Mr. Bigelow? Can you find out who's in the hallway?
Yeah, it feels so much better. Feels so much better here today, Judge.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh,
I mean, we had this earlier.
it's nice. in here.
They came and turned it off, I think back in the springs. I moved in here in what, January, February? So they came and cut it out then. I mean, it was too hot then, and so apparently it's not, they can't regulate it.
Westfield.
So,
Silver Thorns. Fine.
nobody here for civil.
Other than Mr. Jamal.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about outside. Okay, let me put Mr. Goodrich in room 1. And then Mr. Joseph Jamal is here for Midland Credit. Jeanette versus Jenny Trevino. Mr. Jamal, are you there?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Okay, very good. On the record, in the matter of Midland Credit Management Incorporated versus Jenny Trevino, this is file number 22-000435 GCE. Can I have your appearance for the record?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Joseph Jamal on behalf of the plaintiff, P71254.
Today was the date that was set for a hearing on a motion for summary disposition. We did receive your motion. There was no response to that motion filed by the defendant. The defendant has also failed to appear today. By way of answer, the only thing that we did have came back in March 15, 2022. It looks like she's not disputing that she owes a debt. And apologized. So, rather than to grant or default judgment, The court is prepared to enter a judgment on the merits of your motion, okay?
Thank you, Judge. And for the record, defendant has made some payments towards that amount. So with the court's permission, I'd like to submit a judgment under the 7-day rule accounting for $300 of payments that have already been made by the defendant towards the balance. However, we have not received our post consent judgment or other settlement papers back from the defendant.
Very good. I'll note that in the file and we'll expect a judgment under the 7-day rule. Any
Thank you,
additional
Judge.
matters today?
That's it.
Thank you. You're all set. You know what happened to Mr. Hens?
The other thing that you about that, just that they should be faxing over, a letter to have the case removed from the docket. I guess he didn't serve the defendant.
Let's see if my service on there. Then what about Antonelli, motion to strike pleading?
I have not heard anything about that.
I don't know if I have the file though. Did they pull the file? You know, because I have an old docket, so I don't know.
They pulled the file, we don't know either.
Antonelli, where's the file? Which one of these exams is running?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Not really, but. yeah. Is there a question? On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joshua Darrell Wetzel, file number 22-02354 FY, council appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dwayne Silverburn from the Office of Public Defender on behalf of Joshua Wetzel, who is standing to my right at council table.
How are you, Mr. Wetzel? Today was the date that was set for a preliminary examination. I do have a plea sheet. States that the people have offered for the defendant to plead to an amended count. I'm gonna change this to added count. Because my understanding is your office doesn't like me to amend counts.
My apologies. Your Honor.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna do
Count three, and added count three.
added count 3
Thank you.
of domestic violence.
First offense.
First offense. Okay. And that the people are moving to dismiss the remaining, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Silverthorne, does your client wish to accept that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also see that there's a killable of no upfront jail. That's correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Wetzel, I have a advice of rights and plea information sheet. It has today's date on it, but is that your signature on there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read this document?
I did read it, Your Honor.
Do you understand the rights listed here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about these rights?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you want to accept the plea today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your
Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Wetzel, on this matter, you have the right to proceed to trial, and you have the right to have a jury trial or a non-jury trial. At the time of trial, you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to see, hear, or question any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence that you believe will further a defense to the charge. You have the right to have the prosecution prove each element of the charge being brought against you, and they have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt. In order to accept this plea, you have to give up all of those rights today. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You're willing to give those rights up?
Yes.
Does anybody threaten you to get you to want to give your rights up?
No, Your Honor.
Is anybody making any promises to you, not stated here on the record, to get you to want to waive your rights and plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
You understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you may need to report to either your current employer, or you might need to put it on a future job application.
Yes, sir.
You also understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that may have impact on any immigration status you may be seeking.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the killer rule, that's an agreement between you and the prosecutor. I'm not a party to that agreement. So you'll be referred to the probation department so they can prepare a report to me with a recommendation as to how you should be sentenced. But if at the time of sentencing, I decide I'm going to deviate from this and sentence you to jail time, I would then give you the opportunity to withdraw your plea, okay?
Yes, sir.
You have any questions at this time?
No, it's very straightforward.
Okay, as to the added count 3 of domestic violence first offense, how do you plead? Have a factual basis, please.
Yes. Mr. Wetzel, I'm gonna take you back to September 3rd, just last month. Were you at 1516 Court Road, which is in State Lansing,
Yes. I was.
in County State of Michigan?
Yes.
And did you have a relationship with a Melissa May Hunt?
Yes, sir.
She was your girlfriend at that time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and did you have an occasion where you and she got into it at that
Yes,
time?
yes.
And did you forcefully have contact with her, more specifically, push her into the bathroom wall?
Yes,
Was this a violent, forceful pushing?
I would say so.
Would
Yes.
it be viewed as offensive?
Yes.
Any additional questions from the prosecution?
Just one. Mr. Wetzel, was that push against your will?
I would say so. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis, and I'll accept your plea. Find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Just a moment, we'll get you a sentencing date. I just notified them that I'm actually That's my mother's birthday, so I'm taking the day. December 16th at 8:30 will be your sentencing. That can be held via Zoom if all parties consent.
December 16th.
Did you want to hold that by Zoom, Mr. Silverthorne?
That is fine. What day of the week is that?
That's a Friday.
Zoom or live? I'm have about a
Probably.
50-50 chance
Yeah,
of being
you
in
could
the
be
building
anywhere,
anyway.
right? Exactly.
So I have the
Absolutely.
option.
So, well,
to
the
Zoom, that would be
flexibility
good.
will be there, but you can always come in person. And I'm assuming there will be no objection from the prosecution. They'll probably be here anyways. On a Friday.
No.
Okay, and so you'll leave here today. You'll go down to the 5th floor so that you can meet with probation. They'll get you all set up for your pre-sentence interview. And there'll be some paperwork you need to complete today, okay? Do you have any questions? Any additional matters for the record?
None
None from the defendant. No, thank you.
Okay, you're all set, sir.
Remember, you're still on bond. Just something so we'll have to do that until time.
Why do they have this case on the docket twice for Anissa Kent Johnson? Did I miss something? Interesting. Okay, good morning, Mr. Brunette.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I don't think that anybody has appeared for Mr. Stone. Double check the hallway in just a moment.
Okay.
No one has appeared, so a bench warrant can issue. My records reflect that the past due amount is about 5,000. Is that still accurate?
That's correct, Your Honor. We have not, there was a judgment against Mr. Stone, but then I understand that the court later found his answer. So that
Oh, I'm
the,
sorry. Yeah, this is a pre-trial. Let's see. I don't know why I thought you were here for the discovery. That was Mr. Hens that was supposed to be here for discovery. There was a motion to set aside. Yeah, this is weird. For whatever reason, the clerk's office misplaced this answer. Give me just a moment.
no problem.
Okay, so again, they misplaced the answer, which is why, once it was discovered, I did allow them to set aside the default to give Mr. Stone an opportunity to appear. He's not appeared today. But even in the absence of his answer, I don't think he's disputing the debt. Just was
Correct, yeah.
requesting a payment arrangement. So a default judgment will re-enter on this, and if he ever responds, I guess there can be a payment arrangement. But or discussed between the two of you, but we can't seem to get him in here today, so. Let's
Okay.
see. Okay, you're all set, sir. I'm noting here on the file that they should re-enter the default.
Okay, and then, Your Honor, would you like us to send the judgment and everything for your signature?
That's correct.
Okay, we will do that. Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
I don't understand how we had this case on the docket for 2 times today. And they didn't appear either time. Right, no, something else.
It says the AIS said something.
Does it what?
Something was mailed out.
Motion to set aside judgment set for hearing on motion to strike retrial. Anybody prepared?
I think I reset a hearing and then Gail added a motion.
Yeah, it's a motion to strike pleading, and I don't understand what's going on with it. We're ready to proceed on the other matter. Oh, let's go on. Mute this.
They gave it back to me as an empty roll. I was like, girl, what the heck?
It was almost empty. I knew it wasn't gonna go long. That's the only reason I gave her the roll.
Hi, Nicole, this is Melanie. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. That's great. Go ahead and just put yourself back on mute, and when we get started, I'll let you know that it's time for you to start talking, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
versus Joseph Paul Marison. File number is 22-01990 FY. Councilman's parents.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Melanie Smith, here on behalf of the people. Seated to my left is my officer in charge, Detective Machusko, with the Ingham County Sheriff's Department.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dwayne Silverthorne, from the Office of Public Defender, on behalf of Joseph Marison, who is seated at council table to my right.
Your Honor, that's one of the preliminary matters that we needed to discuss. This is the minor child mother. She's a necessary witness for this preliminary examination. Right now, she is in inpatient treatment facility in Boyne Falls, Michigan. I asked Mr. Silverthorne if he would stipulate for purposes of exam only to allow her to testify via Zoom, and he graciously did allow that, as we couldn't get Ms. Spitzley here in person right now due to the treatment.
Okay, sounds good. Any other preliminary matters?
Your Honor, once Miss Nicole Spitzley is done testifying, the next witness will be Miss Mariah Spitzley. She is a minor child. She's presently 13, I believe. And the people, when we were talking about the Zoom witness, did also speak with Mr. Silverthorne about stipulating to a support person for her, as well as closing the courtroom. And like I said, I believe those were stipulated to by Mr. Silverthorne.
I typically will always stipulate to a support person in closing courtroom. And my only caveat with the support person is that you need to be able to see their interaction with the witness when she's testifying.
Okay, I don't believe that'll be a problem.
Okay.
And we can just move the chair, I guess. And I guess I can sit there. You can see them right there unless you want me to move them kitty corner.
Can't hear everything the judge is saying. I'm almost deaf. My ears are ringing.
Do we need to get him a device?
Yes. I'm sorry. Right, I should have remembered that. I have to visit him at the jail with the I got all that kind of thing. No, getting back to the arrangements to support person, I think that was.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, and the stipulation to close the court will be granted in the interest